So this is me. I bet you're wondering how I got here. Well, we should probably begin our story at the beginning. I bet you can guess what we're doing today. So, my first edited video was Black Mesa Pizza Percent, in where I go through the game, carrying the pizza found in Crushable Ethics to the end. This video was an hour 30 pile of shit. No, Alice, you can't rely on chat interactions like Spiff can. You get an average of 2 viewers, and one of them is you. Dumbass. But I don't want to leave Black Mesa in the abyss, so to become better as both a gamer and a video maker, I want to do something a little trickier. And, as it just so happens, right as I put this video on the shelf to release later, there was a community post celebrating the 10th anniversary of Black Mesa being on Steam. Perfect timing, I guess. So I need to prepare, with pizza, party hats, and a pretty tight budget. Today, I'll be getting both the pizza and the purple hat to the end of the game at the same time. Most of the game in this challenge is played the same as a normal playthrough, with the exception of some juggling down your recently cleared corridors. Even with my attempt to spice things up and limit my arsenal heavily until Zen, it was mostly shoot guide, but instead of SMG, it's with pistol. How difficult for the world-class pistol sniper. So instead of me belaboring how rad that 360 no-scope pistol headshot that didn't happen was, I will keep my commentary to 3 levels in where the most interesting encounters occurred. Oh damn, I'm out of cocoa. I'm gonna cry. Whoop. Nope. Oh. This is one of the longest levels in the game. Crowbar Collective decided to cut the runtime from On a Rail and move it here. It's so long that sometimes I forget about Freeman and just assume that it's the same level. Mainly because of this one sequence, but still. Brain cooked. There we go. Fuck it, I'll come back for those. This is hilarious. Look. These are supposed to be two Marines. Oh, and not only that, but I can kill them. And this is also the first level in where we have both the pizza and the hat with us at the same time. So this is where the juggling really starts. The cliffs in this level provide the biggest falling hazard for both our friends, and the ladder at the end gave me the most trouble the first time I went through, pizza only. And still, now, again. Oh my god, best case scenario. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh, what the fuck. The part that actually had me stuck, and the only part of the game where I had to bump the difficulty down, was the gargantuous chase at the end. I had a soft rule throughout the run that I had to play on the hardest difficulty, and this is the only encounter that made me bump it down. No other point in surface tension, not the assassins, nor the Gonarch, or the Neolith, or even the other gargantuous chase at the start of Interloper had me bump the difficulty down. So, the fuck is a gargantuous, and why is this encounter so hard? A gargantuous is this big feller, previously seen in power-up and only killed by a scripted event. Or the power-up example, killed by an industrial power line, and here in surface section, a artillery strike. At a distance, they spray fire that can shred one's health, and if you survive long enough to get into its personal space, then your health is low enough that its melee can insta-kill you. I don't think it's possible on this difficulty, if its melee wasn't already powerful enough. What makes this encounter hard is that we have 2 items to carry to the end and a very narrow passageway to run through. The big door at the end of the tunnel will collapse after passing through, and if I leave an item behind, there's no way for me to get it back. The strategy goes as thus. Throw both items through the rubble, run one item through the big door and throw it through, run back for the other item and eating a shit ton of damage, then run back to the door and kill the gargantuous. And when I say eat a shit ton of damage, I mean it. Doing this route on the easiest difficulty brought me from 100 health, 84 shield, to 35 health, 0 shield. On hard, I die instantly. Now you may assume that the next section I'm going to talk about is the teleportation labs, and you'd be wrong. Only thing I have to say about the teleportation labs is that they're actually easy. Easier than you'd think.
Major fracture detected. Warning. Vital signs critical.
Well, I didn't really want to break my knees whilst doing that, but you know, whatever. Just quick save before throwing the item in, throw the 2 items over this gate, and you don't even have to do the second bit with the items. Easy peasy, not that hard. Everything else I have to talk about takes place in Zen. Let's go! We're in Zen, we have both the items. Welcome to Zen. I like Zen a lot. Once entering Zen, some of my weapon limitations were lifted, with a few still locked for later. Wait, I'm allowed to use this. Wow. That's right, I've permitted myself the Magnum. Should probably use that. And throughout the level, I went from juggling 2 items to juggling 3. Companion propane tank, it's the soda can. We're throwing a party, okay? And this little guy is going to help me with the Gonarch. I would say the Gonarch is our first proper boss fight. They move really fast, hit really hard. Oh my... c'est la vie. And it takes a lot to wear them down. Fortunately, this is the only direct confrontation we need to do to win. Unfortunately, every other encounter is a chase. So, the 3 chases. The first chase is split into 2 areas with a small safe zone in the middle. First, the ridge they were artillerying from. You broke! Oh my god, you broke! Oh my god! Then a crystal cave. The second chase has a safe zone at the start, and then after a drop, curves a short distance.
Major alterations detected. Automatic medical system.
So,
Morphine.
come here often? Damn it. The third and final chase is probably the longest one, starting down this slippery slope after burning the weapon of the safe zone. A sprint down the cavern following the fire until a web bridge that will burn after you fully cross it, and finally a rush to a cave, going straight to fight the boss or dipping into a crevice to the left to skip it. Each of these chases have roughly the same strategy. Throw 1 item to the closest safe zone, then go back for the other. Problem with this strategy is that we're actively being chased by the Gonarch, who can move at Mach 12 and stun lock teabag you to death in seconds. Why do you move so fast? Move slower, bitch. So a manual save before each chase is ideal. These chases are frustrating, especially the crystal half of the first one, as when the crystals near the safe zone break, it becomes just a kill box. And also the third chase, as we need to ferry the items to the end of the bridge, then from the bridge to the safe zone, with no breaks in between. And the cave after the bridge is so narrow that getting hit by the Gargantuous will just knock you out of bounds, which could be a pro or a con depending on how you see it. This is very similar to the Gargantuous chase, but for this one I didn't have to bump the difficulty down, surprisingly. Game, however, does not do the same. I put the soda in the fog machine, but apparently the Gonarch was diabetic. Dies instantly. Should have brought their insulin, dumbass. Okay. Now off to the even worst part of the game, because believe it or not, it doesn't get better. Taking a quick break from the challenge that I'm unfamiliar with to do a challenge that I am familiar with. I'm comfortable here. I'm so scared of Interloper. I don't want to do Interloper. Interloper is the 9th circle of hell. In a normal playthrough, this level is exhausting. This is when the arsenal limitations were unrestricted. It's full DACA time. It's by far the longest level with the least enemy and weapon variety. The environments throughout the tower are so samey that my memory of this level is kind of just bleeds together. The thing that lingered in my mind the most ever since starting this challenge was, oh no, I'm gonna have to do Interloper. Carrying 1 item was troublesome, because either one can easily get stuck in one of the vents or get dropped in an impossible to reach area. But both I had thought was impossible, or at least impossible for someone like me. But Interloper, for the most part, was scarier in my head than it was in hindsight. Firstly, the Gargantuous Chase, Part 2. Dropping both of our items down this drop, it can be done mostly normally. The tricky part is going back, as you need to jump to what seems to be out of bounds, because it is, back to the start of the chase, with the giant boys now clustered. There's 3 of them right where I hit 4! There's 4! How am I supposed to get past them? And then back again to the end, second item in hands, through the clot, to reunite the party. For the factory bit, most of the tech is intuitive and makes sense. Use the underbarrel to boost the hat up a vent. Push the pizza with your body. It's collision when being pushed by the conveyor. Grenade boost back into the vent. Throw grenade to knock the hat close, grab it, yada yada yada. These make sense. I feel like I can do them again. I understand the process. But one part of the factory had me stuck for 2 hours, reloading the same 2 minutes, and I still don't fully understand what I did. I am talking about, of course, the 8 jump pads. I swear, if those two do not stop barking, I'm going to grumble, grumble, grumble. What are you doing, you big idiot? Barking at the neighbors. You're so dumb. Little bean. Oh, do you want to participate too? Normally, when jumping on the pad, the player gets launched all the way up, but is grabbed by a force field and dropped into this disposal area. This force field is finicky with one of the items, as this is a collision box, a wall, and if the item is held outside the wall, it can be like too far away from the player and it just gets dropped. But you also need to be holding the item for it to be launched. Though, with enough dedication, getting both items has been done. Not by me. I'm not the first. The method I used was the one by Red Mesa? This guy, this feller. The steps and my understanding of how this works in as simple a terms as I can manage. When entering the area with the jump pads, all of the action is taking place at the pad directly across the entrance, the one closest to the door that we're spat out of. We put both our items under the conveyor belt and clear the top of incoming tanks. The person I watched used the RPG, I used the Ghostbuster gun. I feel like the GBG clears the tanks further back, giving more leeway at timing, but personal preference, I guess, doesn't really matter. Anyway, we clear the conveyor belt, so this specific jump pad isn't being activated, and we can put the pizza inside the pad. Be sure to make a manual save before putting the pizza in, and maybe even before clearing the conveyor belt. Quick saves are crucial. You can't load a quick save to try again, and we want a lot of tries. Now, the pizza's in the pad. We grab the hat and jump onto the neighboring pad. The earliest possible frame, quick saving on the jump. For some reason, loading a quick save causes the pads to go off, and we want the pizza to jump roughly the same time as we do. Now, the hope is from this point that when the force field grabs us, the pizza is close enough to also be caught by it. Ideally, it would be inside the walls, but if it gets caught in between the door and the force field, that works too. For my specific run, the pizza got wedged really tight between the force field and the door, so much so that we were stuck in place. What are you doing? You're stuck. Oh my god, it's stuck. This is progress. This is progress. This is progress. Fortunately, I had made a manual save there when this happened. I went back and realized the pizza really didn't want to be stuck, and eventually would fly out. Now, it wouldn't fly out the way I wanted it to. It would go back into the jump pad chamber. I don't think I can do anything with this, but I'm so curious if I can. If I can somehow influence the direction it goes. So, my original plan from this point was to underbarrel the grenade right as it popped out and try to direct it in a favorable way. But as I was quick saving to get as tight a window as possible, it flew out. I loaded this recent save, and the pizza was pushed against the wall in a different way. A way that flicked it right into the door. Well, shit. Guess I win. Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Oh my god. From here, it's just one elevator ride to the top and a fight with the Neolith, a boss that I have done so many times prior. This was a victory lap. I only died once because I'm a dumbass. The second attempt on this fight, I got hit maybe twice. Easy fight. Fucking cakewalk after the goddamn 8 jump pad skip. Please. Oh my god, please. Oh my god. I beg. Please. Oh my god, don't crash now. Oh, it's white screening right now. It makes me so scared. Please do the thing, 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 please do the thing. Please, I work so hard.
Gordon Freeman.
Yes!
In the flesh. Or rather, in the hazardous
Yes!
suit. I took the liberty of relieving you of your weapon. Most
We
of
fucking did it!
Government property. As for the suit,
Let's go!
I think you've earned it.
Oh my god, I did it!
The border world, Zen, is in our control.
Oh my god!
Quite a nasty piece of work you managed over there. I am impressed.
So that is the challenge. That level, Interloper, was the challenge. Most of the game was done normally, even with my stupid limitations. But me getting the 8 jump pad skip felt phenomenal. It was one of those things that I thought I would never be able to do, but I did. And marching to the end of the game, we get to celebrate this game that I love. And I get to fucking sleep